Okay, so I'm gonna replace a outlet that I have, or a light switch that I have right here. I'm gonna replace it with a dimmer switch. You can see the dimmer switch here. This is something that we've been wanting in the kitchen, and I put one in yesterday, a dimmer yesterday, but this is a three-way switch, so I need to put another dimmer in here to control the amount of current on the load going to the lights in my kitchen. So I'm going to take this off and replace this light right here, which again is the second side to my dimmer. So it's what's called a three-way switch. My glove on. It's rubber insulated. Hoping that saves me from a shock. Safety first. I put this tile in a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that's probably a month ago now. But during that time, we had mentioned getting a dimmer switch, and I'm just not getting around to doing it. So I'm just kind of looking to see what's going on. Okay. So this is the switch here. I'll take this out if I can. The screw is pretty stripped, so I'm trying to apply some pressure in it. That's a pretty long screw. I'm hoping I don't have to reuse those, but those are longer than the ones that are in my with the ones that come with the dimmer, so I may have to reuse them. I don't want to because the one is the one is pretty stripped. So sorry, can't really think and work. My brain's not that intelligent. Okay, so I'm looking at the position of the wires. You can probably see that there's a wire up here and a wire down there. There's another red wire down here on the bottom. That's because it's a three-way. So I'm going to have to connect all these in the same kind of place in the on the new one. So I typically go wire to wire, which means I go one wire at a time. Should have got some rubber handled pliers, but okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to straighten the wire out, and I'll show you why. Alright, so this is the top of the switch, just like that's the top of the switch. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's a little hole right here. That little hole, what you do is you insert the wire straight in like that, and then you clamp it down. This is a much safer way to connect a light switch because it has less chance of coming off. Like you saw how it was kind of hooked over, sometimes that can come off. It's not likely, but it could happen. So not really unsafe to do it. With a hook, but it's safer to do it this way. Problem is, this wire is really thick. That's probably because it's a three-way wire. So I may have to end up looping it. And that is just not going. Boogering up the end of it. It's not going. It should go easier than that. Alright, so I'm going to re-crook neck it. I'm not sure what the word is, but that's nice. You see how I kind of bent this over. Again, I'll typically like this method. I've got it on there. Okay. Next, I'll connect this ground. The ground on these dimmer switches has a separate wire. That's not typical. Typical thing is you have a green screw like this and you kind of loop it around just like they had previously done. That's your more typical way of doing it. Sure if you can see what I'm doing. Probably you can't. I apologize. What I'm doing is straightening out this wire again. This one can be straightened because I'm going to connect these two with a wire nut here, which came supplied with the see how I have the two wires here, wire nut. I'm gonna cinch this little bad boy down here. Again, that wouldn't be your typical way of doing that. I'm gonna try to straighten out this red one, see if I can get it to go in there. Thinking I won't be able to, but it won't hurt to try. Again, this would be your preferred method. Oh, that one went straight in. So you see how it inserted. So once it's inserted, I'll tighten the screw down. The screw has a little metal plate behind it, and the metal plate behind it, when you tighten the screw down, holds the wire in there. and you want to test that and make sure that's tight. I'll test my other one, which is okay. That's good. That makes me hopeful that the other one will be. Will fit in there as well. I could not fit that first one. Your normal switch that just has, you know, is controlled by one thing, or one switch controls like one light kind of thing. You typically will have a ground and a wire on this side and a wire on this side, and you won't typically have the third wire. The third wire routes power to the other switch as well. So let's see if I can get this to go in there. Oh, and it went straight in too. I don't know. The other one just did not go. Okay. Now we'll see if this thing works before I put it all back in there. So I'm gonna flip this. Okay. Huh. Doesn't seem to work. Let me see. Works from this side. Should work from the other side. You see the lights up there working. Weird. Works there. Now. Dimming function is working. See, I can actually dim them way down. I'm not sure if you can tell that. Brighter. They're LEDs, so they're not going to be super bright anyway. Okay, well, good news. Looks to be working. So, I'm just going to push these wires back in here. And you got to kind of just gently bend them, because they are wire. They will bend. You don't want to cram them so much in there, and I say that because you don't want the connections to come loose. Those screws are going to be really close. Remember I talked about how long the other ones were. They're gonna fit. Let me get this bottom one in. I'll try to work in here a little bit better. Yeah, they're definitely not gonna reach. They're close. That's a bummer because these screws that I took out are kind of stripped. And they're longer, and that's the reason I like to use them, because the reason you use longer screws for this kind of application is because the tile makes it stick out a little bit further, and as a result of that, it needs a longer screw. The old screws out. Put the other screws back in. This one has better threads, so what I'm going to do is kind of get it cinched down. Pretty good. Okay, going to try to put in this one that's a little bit stripped. Wouldn't normally do this. Normally I would replace the screw, and I might do that over time. But right now I just want to kind of get it back in the wall. Okay, that's pretty good. When a screw is kind of stripped, what you want to do is you want to, again, you apply a lot of pressure to the screw, like this way, because it makes the drill bit drive deeper into the screw head, which generally just makes it grab a little better. Just kind of straightening it up a little bit. It'll be kind of hard to tell exactly how straight it is. I'm going to do these last touches here with a screwdriver because you don't want to crack the tile. I certainly don't want to crack the tile because I'll put it in. I want to see if the plate will fit over it. See, it's a little bit off. So I need to push the whole fixture over a little bit. So, push this over. Just a smidge. Wasn't much. See if that actually might be enough right there. Nope, a little bit more. And that's not good. I hit a wire. Hopefully you can see that spark. I don't have something cut off. That is a problem. What you also did not see is that melted the end of my screwdriver, and that's a screwdriver I've had for a long time. Dadgummit. Alright, I'm gonna have to revisit this. That is a bummer. It happens. I gotta make sure to get this cut off. I don't have something cut off. I think it's this switch here for this room. I think that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I hit the, I actually see it. That was silly of me. I made contact with this side of the switch, and as a result of that, it short circuited it a little bit. So I'm just going to be careful. Push this a little bit more and be a little bit smarter about it. I was kind of silly. Oh jeez. Dang, I'm close. Still not got it. I'm actually going to loosen this up a little bit. It's going to be a booger. Being careful not to touch that wire again. That was bad. So part of the problem is that the ground wire, that green wire, is kind of sticking out over there. So I kind of tucked it down just now, and I'm hoping that That's going to give me a little bit more room. It does. That's positive. So we'll kind of push it over this way, making sure not to touch the wires. Pushing it over this way, and we'll tighten this part in. Now we'll do the same thing at the bottom. Ta-da! That's close enough. Carpenters, electricians, plumbers. Seems to be working. Everybody has a saying that that's close enough. Close enough for government work, close enough for another popular saying is I can't see it from my house. That's kind of bad. That's kind of a bad technique to take about that because this happens to be my house, so I can see this from my house. So it's close enough that it's not gonna raise any suspicion that something's not right. When I say something's not right, the plate is what I'm talking about. All right, the light switch is working now. The plate's a little bit crooked. I don't know if you can tell or not on the video. It's just a little bit crooked, but not much. Pretty sure my wife won't watch this video, so she'll never notice. And she's in the other room, so she won't hear me. That's pretty much it. Putting the faceplate back on is that's pretty simple. It's just your standard flathead screwdriver. Trick of the trade. You want to kind of put those the screw heads going straight up and down with the outlet switches, and the reason for that is just aesthetically kind of blends in more, a little kind of more in line with everything, if you see what I'm talking about. So, alright, well that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed me almost getting shocked and all that, melting my screwdriver I've had forever. That's kind of frustrating. Is what it is. I'm going to make sure this thing's working right for the next day or two, and then I'm going to kind of revisit this. Maybe apply some more tape, which is probably what I should have did. Probably should have applied electrical tape to both of those actually.